変わったらやっぱりこう可愛くて胸が大きい女の子になりたいな。でくんもポワポワしてゲームとかやり放題、あと金も持ってて、これはもう上がったなと。
After nearly a decade of hard work, Akasaka Aka had done the impossible. A series he started at age 27 had just become the most highly rated anime of all time. This is the story of how someone who had their childhood dreams crushed before their eyes became more successful than he could have ever imagined, and how you can do it too.
Akasaka Aka です。よろしくお願いいたします。
Born in Sado, Japan, Akasaka would find his calling around elementary school when he met a famous mangaka who showed him that people can actually make money drawing things. Akasaka was starstruck, and he began to furiously draw in the hopes that he'd become a famous mangaka. As an elementary schooler, he failed. But to the young Akasaka, it didn't matter, and soon enough, he would find an even bigger inspiration. Eventually, he'd graduate high school and become a mangaka's assistant, so he celebrated by drawing some hentai before moving in with a friend for art school.
多少家賃の切れっ端みたいなやつだけ渡してでかい顔してました。2ヶ月くらいで行かなくなりました。
Now that he had more time for his job, Akasaka got to work and quickly came to the realization that he was shit being a mangaka. But luckily for him, as the assistant to some pretty notable mangaka, Akasaka would start to level up pretty quickly. After a brief period of pretending to be a woman, and 3 years of working, Akasaka would make his grand debut with Sayonara Piano Sonata, which is a big fat lie, because this wasn't even written by Akasaka. He was merely responsible for the manga adaptation of the original light novel, meaning he had no control over the actual story. For someone who said that he wanted to be more of a novelist than an artist, this gig was probably not all that he'd hoped for. But that didn't mean he hated it. In fact, it might have actually been better for him. You see, when all you're doing is just chopping off unnecessary bits from a story, you happen to get quite good at it. Over the next few years, Akasaka was doing gig work, drawing some stuff, designing a Vocaloid, pretending to be a woman again. At one point he even song wrote for a friend's band, and it honestly doesn't even sound half bad. In the background of all this though, Akasaka was steadily working on a project he started way back in high school, his biggest project ever, where an antisocial guy and a mysterious girl go on to save the world. Instant Bullet. Instant Bullet is difficult to describe. Regardless of how someone like this
可愛い女の子になりたくないですか？ほらほらほらほらほらほら。
can write something like this. Akasaka himself was super into it. And besides, it's not the first time where someone's books and shows were really different who they were.
これからライブ
多くはくだらないんですよ、僕らの世界は。
So for 2 years, Akasaka was pretty much living the dream, making money off a series that he wanted to be his first original manga, until it just stopped. The August edition of Dengeki Mayo had just been released, and in it was a message from a relatively unknown mangaka announcing the end of his series. Instant Bullet is something I've been working on since I was in high school. I can't just leave it all in my head. I can't just let it end without even getting the chance to explain the title. I want to continue this story, but I'm not sure how. So, for now, Instant Bullet ends here. Thank you so much. The series has been on indefinite hiatus ever since. With the end of his childhood dream, Akasaka was now unemployed, and he needed to find another job, fast. He then went to his first day on the job.
Do you have any manga ideas?
How about a story where everyone kills each other?
No.
Being told exactly what Shueisha wanted, bankrupt of ideas and feeling pretty hungry, Akasaka decided to start smoking some fish while reminiscing about his life. Man, I wish I dated girls in my grade in high school. The rom-coms make it look so nice. Maybe I could have even had a uniform date. Wait a second. Bingo. Freshly inspired now by Girls' Panties, School Rumble, and his most recent reminisce, Akasaka found his next series, IQ, which was renamed to Kaguya-sama Love is War, featuring 2 stupid children. But being that this was his first rom-com that he ever wrote, he was actually pretty insecure about whether it was actually funny. And the reception he got from the editing team Frosty reception aside, Love is War eventually gained approval and began serialization in Miracle Jump, this time with characters that Akasaka could personally relate to, like Gamer, Attraction Type, and
Big bouncy.
Akasaka again found himself in a good position, with a manga series that he could literally draw inspiration from anywhere. Akasaka though, he was unsatisfied. Sure, he might have had a manga series in the books, but it wasn't in the right magazine. You see, when Akasaka was a teenager, he was a big fan of Gantz.
It's so good, Gantz. Okay, there's a scene in Gantz. Oh, a hot girl turns up and he wants to have sex with her. But then he actually just starts fucking her.
Yeah, he just starts fucking her. I'm like, who is this Chad? Like,
Which was published in a weekly magazine called Weekly Young Jump. And Akasaka really wanted to be in Weekly Young Jump.
Serialize me.
There was only one small issue. Weekly Young Jump wasn't published monthly like Miracle Jump. It was published weekly. Eventually, Akasaka, still scared shitless, would get his wish, and Love is War would get its serialization. He'd then start hiring his own assistants one by one, letting them work at his place. But after a while, his drawing speed alone began to exceed what was actually necessary, reaching 18 pages a week. Or perhaps the better way to put it is 18 pages every 3 days. Yeah, Akasaka, more like Hayasaka. Luckily for us, Akasaka left behind some tips just in case you wanted to draw as fast like he does. So first. Second, divide the story into pages so you can figure out how you want to draw it. And third, go draw it. Get someone to be unfathomably pissed at you. They'll draw faster than you've ever drawn in your life. Eventually, after 3 years of just existing, Akasaka would drop a bombshell on Twitter, and it exploded. The anime's Twitter page hit 10,000 followers after just 18 days of being made. In the blink of an eye, Akasaka Aka's Kaguya-sama wa Kokurasetai had jumped from being in a book to being on the screen. Brief aside, do you remember this? Well, would you believe it if I said that this was just the work of one person? Everything was the work of this one guy, Naoya Nakayama. Yeah, I know this is a video about Akasaka, but credit has to be given where credit is due. Though 2019 wasn't even the biggest year for Love is War, it was 2020. In a single year, Akasaka's work had crossed the 10 million sold mark, and was also announced to win the 65th Shogakukan Manga Award, the most prestigious manga award in Japan. I mean, in that year, even Akasaka's personal life got exciting, because it turns out when you can finish 18 pages in 3 days, you can afford to begin publishing a second weekly manga while doing the first one, and make it good enough to receive its own anime. Well, since that situation, Akasaka has kept doing things, starting another manga in collaboration with an idol group, entering an Apex tournament, and just overall doing
いや
fine.
全然大丈夫じゃないです。天井の隅っこを見つめる時間がすごい長くなりましたね。
Soon enough, though, he'll have one less thing on his plate, as Love is War is soon due to end, even if his bosses don't want it to. Which brings us to now, as Love is War being the most popular anime of all time.